In this video, we are going to be looking at another traditional job interview questions. And you know, traditional job interview questions are meant to make the recruiting officer or job interviewer or employer, as the case may be, to become more familiar with you, the interviewee. Now, the question we are going to be looking at today is a very, very important one that you will most likely encounter during your interview sojourn. And the question is, what are your key weaknesses? Now, the question I would ask as usual is, why do recruiting officers or employers of labor ask this particular question? What are they really fishing for? Now, the employer of labor actually wants to know if you have any likely weakness that will impede on your job performance. That's any weakness whatsoever that will hinder the job that you are actually vying for. Now, also, the recruiting officer or employer of labor wants to also know how you intend to counter any of these weaknesses that you might point at, that is, if there is any whatsoever. Now, this is actually a really tough question that if you don't think it through, you would end up faltering. It's actually a potential trap for many suspecting or naive job hunter. Now, this particular question exposes those interviewees that have not prepared for an interview, because the recruiting officer would be expecting that you should be expecting a question of this nature. And this question also comes up with a follow-up question, and the follow-up question tends to ask how you intend countering any of the weaknesses that you must have offered up during the interview. Now, how do you counter such a question? That's how do you answer a question of this nature? Now, before we get into this, I want you to subscribe to this channel, enable the notification buttons, and like this video, as this enables us to provide more content targeted to you as YouTube refers our videos to you. Now, if that is understood and we are done with that, how do you tackle these kind of questions? Now, you should start by saying that you don't believe that you have any kind of weaknesses whatsoever. Now, having said that, you could now provide some weaknesses that are not actually weaknesses, that ends up being strengths hidden in a kind of weaknesses. Now, the clever ones that I have showcased here are some weaknesses like not suffering fools gladly, that's not tolerating fools, and sometimes being impatient with other people's sloppy work, being too demanding, refusing to give in when you believe in something very strongly, and trying to do too much at a time, and so on and so forth. I believe you get the gist. This is how you answer the weakness question. Now, what should you avoid saying when asked this particular question during the interview? There are some certain things you mustn't say at all, and you mustn't mention any of the negative weaknesses that you are seeing right here on the screen. Take, for instance, you do not tell the employer or recruiting officer that you sleep a lot, and never tell them that you drink or smoke a lot as well, whether it's shisha or Benson and edges. Not smoking whatsoever. You shouldn't mention anything relating to smoking. And you must never tell them that you find it difficult to control yourself when around the opposite sex, and don't tell them that you easily get angry. Mentioning any of these or a couple of these could make you end up losing that particular opportunity. These are no things you must never say when asked the weakness question. Now, if that is understood, I want you to again make sure you have subscribed to the channel, you like this video, share it, and smash that notification bell button. Thank you, and see you in the next video.